As the season was coming to the end, with report that senior players like Miguel Timm and Innocent Maela won't be with the team beyond the next season, I think it would only be fair that they are given the respect that they deserve by being offered minutes in the last game of the season to wave goodbye to the supporters. That means so much to them. I know that the club is doing a good job by giving young players from development opportunity to play in their first team, but that after sacrificing his salary for Mamelodi Sundowns to join Orlando Pirates, the highly technical and experienced diminutive midfielder even reported to have been injured when he was not, and it seems like similar stories has been unfolding. Miguel Timm. I'm not going to hold back when I see any injustice unfolding in front of our eyes. Skipper Innocent Maela spent 8 years with Orlando Pirates, and he's living as the longest serving member, having won 4 MTN titles and 2 Nedbank trophies. And it was good to see him getting that moment that I have been crying for, just to say goodbye to the supporters that have been with him over the years. Although Maela may not have many good memories of his last season at Paris, except winning the MTN 8 and reaching the CAF Champions League semifinals, will surely remember his last game and how he was made to feel. However, when it comes to Miguel Timm, who left everything on the pitch whenever given a chance, and having helped Orlando Pirates to win 5 trophies in 3 seasons, was left on the cold despite reported injuries, and looking at how he loved the club and supporters, and how he remained professional even when he couldn't be played, when Makhaula and Mbatha were not available, but kept on encouraging those playing ahead of him, should have been honored. But some people have already ensured that we don't have any recent memories of his. When everyone is celebrating after winning a trophy, you will find Miguel Timm crying and being so grateful to the supporters who say they work 9 to 5 job while they work only 2 hours a day, but they still sacrifice their money to come and support them. That's the man who deserves a double honor, but unfortunately his labor was rendered futile by the club he loves so much. All the best to Miguel Timm, and I know he won't run out suites and hopefully will play his best football again at least for next 2 years. As he stands, Sekhukhune have been credited with interest in him, and also would like to appreciate both of players' services to the team and also to the club, whereby what is going to be interest for me will be less about tactics and results, but rather whether the club would be in a position to send out skipper Innocent Maela and football leader Miguel Timm with dignity and respect that they deserve for what they have brought to the club and team, and off the pitch is institution of the highest magnitude. It has been very clear that the club has a plan to ensure that the younger players who have just been promoted get as many minutes as possible to give the technical team a feedback with regard to their readiness to stay with the first team next season or be loaned out. But so far, Simpiwe Selepe have shown the sign of a younger player who will only require a bit of a patience for the next season. I'm very happy with that. I assume that it's what the club is really doing. It's really doing with younger players. However, it would be disrespectful for outgoing legends like Innocent Maela and Miguel Timm not to get a fitting send-off that doesn't cost even a cent. They are not only athletes but human beings, and though they may not always remember everything that happened at the club, but will never forget how they were made to feel, especially during their last moment at the club. The pain stops the minute acceptance kicks in. I strongly believe that Miguel Timm have accepted his fate long time ago, and it made him to accept the reality of the situation at the club and how he has endured enough this season, not getting opportunity to play because your competitors are doing better than you. It's understandable, but what do we say when you are not given opportunity to play, even when your competitors are out of injured or suspended? Miguel Timm arrived at Orlando Pirates Football Club quickly and stabilized himself as the anchor in front of the back for late explained. And even though Bafana coach Hugo Bros has said that doesn't want older players in the national team, Miguel Timm brilliant display of tactical awareness, technical quality and leadership on the pitch left the Bafana coach without a choice but to call the Marumo Galas defensive midfielder into the Bafana squad. There was not someone who came to Paris just to collect a pay of a check at the end of it every month. Whose mental toughness to stay calm in trying moments and keep on encouraging those who are in the team. Maela has been with the club for almost a decade, if I'm not mistaken, and won few trophies for Paris. And I strongly believe that the club will soon have a conversation with him about hanging up his boots and take up a position within the club that best suits his characteristics. Looking at what happened with former skipper Happy Gel when he insisted on keeping playing, when the club felt that it's time he hang up his boots and take up a position within the club. Maela is mostly likely not to make a mistake of thinking twice about that, because he's not going to play more than he has already played. And going to the next season, things can only get worse for him with regard to game time. Forcing Innocent Maela into retirement, but just being brutally honest based on how I see things. The skipper Innocent Maela has had injuries that slow him down a bit and no longer the most solid of Paris left back, especially in view one situation. And the best place to hide his would be at the defense to bring balance with his left foot. But with Mbogazi already there, I think it would be best for him to be honest with himself. He has served the club well and borne out while still loved. Might be the best decision for him, but that's my opinion. However, Maela has been a shadow of his true self through the season, and if he doesn't improve and use the game what costed him mostly, we all know that competition is stiff at Orlando Pirates. So when a player is given a chance, he must grab it with both hands, because it doesn't come more often. And Maela hasn't been at his best through the season, but we can't blame him because the injuries and lack of game time, even where the age is not in his side. When Paseko Marco took left back position and make it his own in that time, it didn't look like someone would dethrone him. Even also Jose Rivero tried to accommodate Maela, playing him on the central defense, because it is appropriate for a team captain and the leader be eating ice on the bench. But Maela is known for his exciting overlapping runs, ball control, aggressive and marking, whereby Miguel Timm has previously mentioned that Maela is an avid reader, which has ample contribution to his shape, football intelligence and sound decision making. His ability to understand the game from a tactical perspective suggests that he could have future in the coaching once his playing career comes to any end. Players who continuously educate themselves and seek to improve their understanding of the game often transition seamlessly into mentorship and leadership roles, which would benefit Paris in the long run. Another admirable quality of Maela is his attitude towards competition. Unlike many senior players who may become frustrated when left on the pitch bench, he remains professional, supportive, and ready to contribute whenever called upon. His composure and willingness to put the team first set defensive midfielder Miguel Timm is the embodiment of this mentality at the club. He galvanizes everyone around him. He fights for every point and gives instruction to his teammates, especially during the build-up phase to help the team avoid opponent pressing traps. He's the leader and the captain without the armband. Few players in his position are good with the ball, but not many are excellent without it. Like this Paris midfielder, dominating sentimental, playing without a super keeper, needs the team to have clarity on how to manage distance between the lines, and Timm is the one leading his center back. How high they press or deeper they defend. They just look at his behavior, and everybody just do their work to the best of their abilities without interference from the office people. There are politics of some sort in my beloved Paris team, but I don't know why it's still allowed, because they compromise the strength of the team above. It's painful when we say that there is imbalance in the field team. We certainly lose some to ignore certain players or the coach's personality clashing with certain players, but we will still have to. Do you think it was the right choice for Orlando Pirates to left those experienced players and also believe into the young? But anyway, we are not taking anything away from the Pirates vision. Our opinion. Also, please share your own opinion down below and comment. Hold he good enough for his to get a game time. Maybe, I don't know, maybe I favor him too. In my view, the club also taking the supporters for granted. The supporters came in numbers everywhere, and they has been consistently in terms of attendance. We don't. In this case, I'm wondering, who do we point a finger at, management or technical team for one? If management make a directive for team to be played, management is interfering with the team. Still love to see Miguel Timm get a few minutes and also say goodbye to the supporters of the club at the end of the game. I understand the pain of leaving, but I'm sure he is happy to have finally played, to finally made his dream come true of playing for Paris and winning trophies, as he was one of the Paris development. Like most of fans don't know about that. Fans will love him, and he had immense contribution in the team. But we should also remember that not all players will get a special send-off. They say legends don't just play the game, they leave their mark on the pitch. Innocent Maela and Miguel Timm, your journey with Orlando Pirates has been nothing short of inspiration. You like APJ and Intumele Nkuni. Our teams forget that you are a legend of this team. He was in a good form. Indeed, he arrived at Paris, carry on with his good performance. The problem started when he got injured. That's when the position was taken. Even in Europe, Ansu Fati in Barcelona was quality player, but the problem started the day he got injured. But the question still stands: what the future hold for Innocent Maela?
We were disappointed you last week, and we hope you're happy now. The best team in the world! God has given us this gift and the responsibility to make people happy. I know they have 9 to 5 jobs. We only work 2 hours a day, and I personally take responsibility to give my all. I make myself feel like I'm working 9 to 5. I take care of myself, and I try as best as possible to live and breathe Orlando Pirates.
But don't tell no lie about me, and I won't tell truths about you.
F was just step on niggas. Brand new F was just step on niggas.